Daniel Mercer didn't mean to stay the night. The house sat deep in the woods outside a forgotten town in Oregon, hidden behind a rusted iron gate hanging open at an unnatural angle like it had been forced that way and abandoned mid-motion. It wasn't marked on any reliable map, no property records, no satellite history that made sense. But Daniel had seen it. Just for a second while driving past on a road that shouldn't have been there either. A shape between the trees, too straight, too deliberate, something that didn't belong. Curiosity brought him back. That was his first mistake. The second was stepping inside. From the outside, the house looked ordinary enough to be forgettable. 2 stories, faded gray siding peeling in long strips, windows dark and hollow like empty eye sockets, and a front door slightly open as if it had never been closed. Not inviting, just waiting, like it expected him. Daniel called out once, "Hello?" His voice sounded wrong, like it had been swallowed halfway out of his throat. No echo, no reply. He stepped inside anyway. The air pressed against him immediately, not dusty, not stale, just heavy, thick in a way that made his chest tighten as if something unseen had wrapped around his ribs. The door creaked shut behind him without being touched. The sound wasn't loud, but it felt final. He turned fast, grabbed the handle, and pulled. Nothing. He pulled harder, muscles straining, breath quickening. The wood didn't move. It didn't even vibrate. It felt like trying to open a door painted onto a wall. "Okay. Okay," he whispered, but his voice sounded distant, like someone else was saying it. The house stretched in front of him in a long hallway that didn't quite make sense, too long for what he'd seen outside. The ceiling hung just low enough to make him feel slightly hunched. The corners of the walls were darker than they should be, like shadows weren't reacting to light properly, they were avoiding it. There was furniture, but it felt staged. A chair placed perfectly in the center of a room with no purpose. A table with nothing on it, not even disturbed dust, and a staircase leading upward into darkness thicker than the rest of the house. Daniel checked his phone. No signal. Battery 78%, time 6:12 p.m. The time didn't change again, though he didn't notice that yet. He moved toward a window. Something about it bothered him before he even reached it. There was no reflection, no outside, just a flat, endless black. He reached out slowly and touched it. Solid. Cold. Not glass, not wood. Something else entirely, like touching the surface of something that wasn't supposed to exist. Daniel pulled his hand back quickly, heart beginning to race. "This isn't real," he muttered. Then he heard footsteps above him, slow, heavy, measured in a way that suggested intention. Someone or something was walking upstairs. "Hello?" he called louder, his voice cracking. "If someone's here, this isn't funny." The footsteps stopped. Silence flooded the house again, thick and suffocating. Then one step directly above him, exactly above him, as if whatever was up there knew where he was standing. Daniel stepped back instinctively, every part of him screaming to leave, but there was nowhere to go. The door wouldn't open, the windows weren't real, and something upstairs was aware of him. He grabbed a broken chair leg from the floor. It felt useless, too light, too fragile, but it was something. He moved toward the staircase. Each step creaked louder than it should, the sound stretching unnaturally long, echoing like it was being repeated by something unseen. Halfway up, the smell hit him, rot. Not old decay, but fresh, wet, close. He gagged but kept moving. At the top, the hallway stretched impossibly far, longer than the house should allow, fading into something that didn't look like distance but absence. Doors lined both sides, identical and closed. Daniel opened the first empty, no windows, no furniture, just walls too close together. The second empty. The third empty. By the fifth, something shifted inside him. Not panic yet, but a quiet understanding that things weren't just wrong, they were controlled. He turned back. The staircase was gone. Not hidden, not dark, gone. In its place was more hallway, more doors, endless repetition. No, 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 no. His voice broke as he ran to where the stairs should have been, slamming his hands against the wall. Solid, no seams, no cracks, nothing to suggest it had ever been anything else. A soft creak echoed behind him. A door opening slowly, deliberately. Daniel turned. One of the doors he had already checked stood open now, wider than before. Inside, it wasn't empty anymore. Something sat in the corner, facing the wall, perfectly still, too still. "Hey," Daniel said, barely holding himself together. "Are you okay?" No movement, no response. He stepped closer, each footstep heavier than the last, the air thicker here, harder to breathe, like the room resisted him. "I'm stuck here too," he said. "We can figure this out." He reached the doorway. The figure spoke without turning, its voice like dry paper tearing. "You shouldn't have come upstairs." Daniel froze. What? What is this place? The figure tilted its head slightly. "You don't leave," it whispered. "You just get moved." The lights flickered. For a fraction of a second, the room changed, and Daniel saw shapes in every corner, not one or two, but dozens, crouched, folded wrong, watching him. Then it snapped back, just the figure again. Daniel stumbled backward. No, I'm leaving. There has to be a way out." The figure laughed, a quiet, broken sound that no longer felt human. "I said that too." It stood up too fast, too smooth, like it had forgotten how to move and suddenly remembered. Then it turned. Daniel saw its face and something inside him collapsed. It was him. Same eyes, same mouth, same fear, but stretched wrong, skin too tight in places and too loose in others, like it had been worn and reshaped over time. Its smile didn't match its eyes. "You stay long enough," it said, stepping closer, "and the house keeps you." The hallway lights went out. Complete darkness. Then doors began opening one by one. Dozens, maybe hundreds. The sound layering until it became a low, endless groan. From inside each room came breathing, slow, wet, close. Not one set, but many, too many. Daniel swung the chair leg wildly into the darkness, screaming as something moved behind him, fast, silent, close. Hands grabbed him, not hands, but something shaped like hands. Too many fingers, too cold, too tight. The last thing Daniel understood before everything went black was this. The house didn't trap people, it learned them, then replaced them. Days later, a car was found near the woods, engine cold, driver missing, no signs of struggle. Search teams never found the house, not even the road. But sometimes drivers passing that area at dusk report something strange, a structure between the trees, a house that doesn't belong. And if they look closely, they might see someone standing in the upstairs window, perfectly still, watching, waiting, with a face that looks almost human, almost familiar, and a front door that is always slightly open.